through, and he nearly was as well. Crucial from the intervention from Mitchell Pearce. Here's Bell once more for St Helens. It's been a thrilling start. Can Saints put points on the board through Walmsley? They can, you know. The first attack, and they come up with the first points. Walmsley with the first try. Saints hit the front in Perpignan.
Well, Alex Walmsley is the guy that puts the ball down for the try. But for me, it was his charge from the backfield that really brought that deadlock and really broke the monopoly that Catalan had at the start of the game. It's great footwork. They miss him when he's not in the side. Obviously, he has size, he has power, but he's an intelligent runner of the ball. He knows where to run, he knows where to spot the space and gap behind the play of the ball. And he's one of, if not the best front rower in the game, and he has been for a number of years.
Well, they've missed him, and that was no doubt. Their 36-0 win over Wakefield a month or so ago, the first carry of the game, he felt his hamstring, and he's not been seen until tonight.
What a luxury, and what, if you look at Paul Wellens, what he's got to call on there, Walmsley, Roby, Lees. He's got everything you want from a front row in his 8, 9 and 10. And they've got a lot to thank them for in that particular passage.
And no doubt the right in front from Tommy Makinson, and Saints make it 6-0. But Roby to Walmsley and a try. I wonder how many times we said that over the years.
And Laurent Fresinu, who appreciates that, the former Catalan Dragons coach, will have had a heavy influence in the build-up to this week. He's just a smart player, isn't he, Roby? Knows, and there was lots of action, lots of players getting ready if they were called upon behind Alex Walmsley, but the intelligence of James Roby just thinks, I'll give it the big fella, and he can run over the top of any defender.
Stay behind, boys.
Catalan have had 5 or 6 sets on the Saints. They got now. Saints 1 attack, 1 try.
I feel an element of smugness here from you, Pikey.
Never.
They will want to be sharper, they will need to be sharper. But all that possession, field position, Saints are a fit side. They get up quicker than anybody else when they're defending. They get behind the ball better than anybody else. And that's the reason they've led the competition for a number of years.
Here is Lomax. Inside it goes for the dangerous Conrad Hurrell. Just inside their own half of the field. Roby once more. They come the short side with Wellesby. Lomax looking for a way through. Tompkins again first to bring him down. Lewis Dodd goes high. Arthur Morgan under pressure. The chase from Ritson was a good one.
He's got his opportunity, Ritson. He's determined not to let this pass. I think young Benison's a bit unlucky not to make the side. Scored a spectacular try against Warrington last week, and if you cast your mind back to Saints, right after the World Cup Challenge, they went away to Casford Tigers, and big Alex Walmsley scored 2 sensational tries late in that match, and the influence he had led his side to victory. Well, we'll see if he can do the same today.
Here is Bousquet. 236 games, 13 years, Julien Bousquet with the Catalan Dragons. And it's Tompkins who gets the kick away. And Wellesby watches it well, but that's a good kick because Wellesby has to go back behind his own line. Takes on the line himself, but Tompkins with a cracking kick, and Saints again pinned back.
There won't be too many times that you can admire individuals and look at the battles, but Arthur Morg and Jack Wellesby are 2 of the most exciting players in the league. Both were number 1, although Arthur Morg played 6 for France last week. And his interaction, so you got Arthur Morg, Tompkins, Pearce and Benjamin Garcia, they have to fire. They have to be 9, if not 10 out of 10 to trouble Saints.
Bell once more. Busquets and Garcia with the tackle. 16 minutes have flown by at the Stade Gilbert Brutus. Saints leading by 6 points to 0. And Dodd again gets the kick away, and it's taken by Tom Davis, always dangerous on the fly. Tom Davis. Oh, another 6 again. That's twice Saints have been penalised. Johnson it was, who was trying to get free of a tackle.
Move, no second effort. Goal 1.
Tackle 1, Pearce inside.
It's important mentally that the Catalan Dragons don't dwell too much on Saints getting over the line. They've had all that pressure. Go back to the plan. Go back to the way that they started the game. Try again. But
Kieran does well. Ball out for Johnston. Well, he just couldn't hold on. Adam Kieran did really well initially. There was half an opportunity, wasn't there? Whitley, though, just couldn't find his winger. And Saints survived.
Well, I thought that was a line ball. And when the offload comes, this is definitely a forward pass from Matt Whitley. Put a bit too much beef behind that. I think Catalan are at the best when they're offloading the ball. They're playing with imagination, not just sticking to the structure. Saints have Conrad Hurrell down injured.
It's the second time he's received treatment in the last few minutes, Conrad Hurrell. Such a big player, isn't he, for Saints? Already stated publicly that he would love to stay with St Helens, but they will take no chances if he has a knock. He's a hard man, though, isn't he, Conrad Hurrell? If he goes off, you can see there, trying to bring down Tom Johnston, and I think he accidentally got a Johnston knee in the side of his head.
He gets his head in the wrong place, his tackle technique's all wrong. And if he needs to go off, maybe Joe Batchelor may go in the centre. I talked about his versatility. They've got LMS, Wingfield, George Delaney, who's been so impressive, and Joey Lussick. So if he does need to go off, as he is doing there...
Yeah, he got a green card, which means he has to leave the field for 2 minutes. He may be taken for...
or they need to make a change, yeah. They need to make a substitution.
Assessment, yeah. I think it's sensible refereeing there from Liam Moore, not taking any chances. Yeah, I think Batchelor will switch into the centre, you're right. I remember Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook playing centre in the grand final.
I do, and I obviously I had a chat with him this year when... Oh, another mistake!
Saints have lost it, Catalan have got it back. It may well have been Lomax who coughed the ball up. Here is Davis, and all of a sudden, Catalan will attack once more. Here's a try coming, can Saints keep them out? Whitley down this left-hand side. Bell makes the tackle along with Lomax. The home fans get behind their side. McMeekin, who's played prop, he's played loose forward, he's played second row this season, he's loose forward tonight. Tompkins again for Whitley, but there's nowhere to go. Saints defensive line scrambling superbly. Saints, one attack, one try. Here's the numbers out on the far side. Davis goes to the corner. Davis is stopped short. What a tackle! What a tackle on Tom Davis to deny the try.
It looks like he's hurt as well, Tom Davis. Bodies on the line from St Helens.
It was Makinson, I think, who got across bravely.
What's going through my mind while Catalan are putting these passes is they're very lateral. Their angles aren't going back against the grain, ripping inside shoulders of defenders off. They're going towards outside shoulders. And the way that Saints defend, they get on the bike, they push and push and push, and they'll leave space on the edge and challenge defenders to run round them. Tommy Makinson receiving some treatment.
What a tackle it was, though, Barry. What a try-saver.
I just love Tommy Makinson because he has a will, he has a desire, he has a commitment to his teammates. He's patched up and bandaged like no other winger in Super League because of the way he plays the game.
Conrad Hurrell is back on for Saints, approaching a quarter of the match gone. Saints leading 6-0. Well, we demanded and we expected a terrific game, and we're getting it.
Listen to this atmosphere. Big collisions in the middle.
Lomax now, and Hopewasi looking for a way through. Of course, Hopewasi's Saints career has been restricted by a series of hamstring injuries, and this is where Saints have to be careful. They've got a penalty though, Catalan offside, but look at that. This is the period where the Dragons like to score.
Well, teams always want to start well, but Saints, Catalan Dragons, when they start well, it drains them of energy, which means the 20 to 30 mark, once they've got over that first quarter, there's a temptation to just feel the pace of the game, feel the fatigue, and that's when mistakes drop in. We see a mistake, a penalty, and position given away on that occasion.
Well, Saints, there's Takayaho coming on for the Catalan Dragons. Saints' second attack of the entire game, and it's come after 21 minutes. They scored after their first. Here is Batchelor.
Move in! Off the ball. Ball, Sue.
Bell inside for Hurrell, looking for a way through. Brilliant offload for Wellesby. What a try from St Helens. 2 attacks, 2 tries. But what about that from Conrad Hurrell and Jack Wellesby under the sticks with his 4th try of the season. And Super Saints strike again.
Jack Wellesby, such an elusive runner, intelligently backs up, supports Conrad Hurrell, who finds him with a beautiful offload. The big man stepping, skipping, going towards a tired defender. I think it's Bousquet who's in the line, and I bet the coach Steve McNamara, who was desperately trying to get Takiaho on, was changing the big number 10, who's fatigued and tired. He goes through 2 big men, a beautiful offload, lays it on a plate to the fullback, and the fans are delighted with the way that St Helens have started this game.
He was outstanding, wasn't he, for England against France, Jack Wellesby. You and I were talking before the game, Barry. 22 years of age, only recently, and already this is his 95th appearance for St Helens.
He's going to be a once-in-a-generation player, Jack Wellesby. The world is his oyster now, and will be even more going forward. 4 becomes 6, and from all that pressure, what seemed like the opening 10 minutes of St Helens defending the line, a couple of pieces of inspiration backed up with some support and some unselfish play means that as we go from 10-11 to 20-22, Saints are 12-0 up.
Conrad Hurrell describes his relationship with St Helens as a love affair that he doesn't want to end.
Listen, he has a love affair with every place he goes because you can't not fall in love with him.
Infectious, isn't he?
He's such a big character, doesn't mind having a little laugh and a little joke with himself, or maybe letting the joke be on him. But when it comes to game time, when it comes to playing the game, he's serious, isn't it? And he's a serious bloke to handle.
So 12-0, St Helens lead. Walmsley on the charge once more.
Move now!
Don't forget, it's a huge weekend with a magic weekend in the NRL, and 2 games on Friday. We've got more on Saturday and more on Sunday. Every game live on Sky Sports. Royal stop, shoulder charge it was from Bousquet, another penalty for St Helens.
Well, I'm wrong. I thought Steve McNamara was trying to get the big number 10 off. He looked tired whilst that last try was being scored, and that looks like a tired effort defensively. Done for footwork. He ends up stood on one leg with one leg and one arm, just flailing out.
First try in 6 games for Jack Wellesby. And what a try it was. Bell, he's been good this season, had the outstanding season. James Bell slotting in at loose forward with Knowles suspended, of course. Here is Batchelor.
Well, championship winning teams have great depth, and they have confidence in that depth. James Bell, the number 19 on the ball, can play in a variety of roles. If he doesn't get picked in the 17, he will be, I feel, I'm pretty sure, a good influence on everybody else around him. You can see it oozing through him.
Walmsley not stopped by Bousquet and Garcia, so he does carry on, and he barges into Takayaho right in front of the post. The influence once more of Alex Walmsley. Lomax now, Saints setting up with Batchelor. Now, was that knocked down? It was, and Saints get another set.
More field position, more possession, and they are creaking, the Catalan Dragons.
Two attacks, two tries. This is their third attack. It was Lees with the first run towards the try line. Here is Bell once more, trying to dance his way through. But these are dangerous moments for the Dragons. Royal brought down. Roby, the architect once more. Dodd with a jinking run towards the line, the scrum half.
Release.
Two tackles left in the set for Saints. It comes back for Lomax. Wellesby finds Hurrell. Hurrell on the charge. Gets the pass out once more. Wellesby picks up the bouncing ball. Now he finds Roby. That looked to be knocked down again, I think.
You're right.
What will the referee say? Zero, back to zero it is. It did come off a Catalan hand, might well have been Mitchell Pearce, pounced on by Lewis Dodd.
They need to show steel here, Dragons. They look absolutely gone to me defensively.
Walmsley is dictating the middle. Here is Matty Lees. Saints have got their first choice front row back in Camden with Walmsley, Roby and Lees. Long pass out, and it wasn't the best passes. Ritson could do nothing about that. But I'll tell you what, if it had been the perfect pass from Jack Wellesby, it was a try for T. Ritson. Doesn't often get those wrong, Wellesby, but he did on that occasion. And Catalans, you say, look absolutely out on their feet, but they've survived.
Well, you can see that Saints are really working the middlemen over, making them do repeat efforts. And that ball, you're right, if it's on the money, it's a certain try. Jack Wellesby probably floats it in the path of two options. The furthest one being away, T. Ritson. It just doesn't have enough pace and power on it to get to the winger, who was rightfully disappointed.
Takayaho.
Manu Mao on for the Dragons now.
Manu Mao as well, yeah. They've got a strong bench, haven't they? Not often you see James Roby pushed off the ball.
He'll be taking that. He'll be making a note of that one.
Later scores, Hull KR lead Huddersfield. Castleford. What a win that would be for Andy Last in front at Lee, and the leaders, well, they will be the leaders if they win tonight. Warrington 12-0 up against Wakefield. They're all 8 o'clock kickoff, and Morg away with the inside pass. He's got support. He's not going to need support. Arthur Morg with a fabulous try for the Catalan Dragons. They are dangerous, and they can strike from anywhere. But that was out of the top drawer from the young fullback. Arthur Morg races 40 yards for a brilliant try.
We have two of the best fullbacks on shore here this evening. Jack Wellesby scores a beautiful supporting offload and gets his well-deserved try. And Sam Tompkins, the important part of that pass is it's back. It's not lateral. It's not going sideways. He finds a space on an inside shoulder, not an outside shoulder. And that's just class from the fullback. All pace on all predatory instinct. He knows where the try line is. Wonderful intelligence from Sam Tompkins. And things you look to see. Ball in hand, Arthur Morg, Jack Wellesby. We're in for a treat here, Pikey, tonight.
Coming up for half an hour gone. It really has flown by. Arthur Morg, ever present this season. Celebrating his 24th birthday this week, the young Frenchman. Steve McNamara is convinced that Morg is going to be a superstar. What about the pass from Sam Tompkins, retiring of course at the end of the season, but that was just classic Tompkins, wasn't it? Here's Kieran from right in front of the post. Saints led by 12 points to 0, and the deficit is down to 6 points.
You can just see Catalan Dragons bench just looking over. A big charge from Romain Navarrete. And you bet your bottom dollar that Sam Tompkins has said, stay on me inside shoulder. Let's target a defender, and a tired defender in a Saints shirt, and I'll thread you through the hole. They needed that response, didn't they? Catalan Dragons on half an hour. 20 minutes of dominance for me from St Helens. After 10 minutes, after they withstood the pressure that the home side put on them, it was all about Saints.
Well, it could well be a significant moment. Saints had 3 sets, didn't they, on the Catalan line, and Wellesby's misdirected pass for T. Ritson set up the opportunity for the Catalan Dragons, but defensively, after 2 lapses, Catalan held firm.
I talked about the mentality of Catalan, not dwelling on the fact that they'd had a try scored against them. You know, that's forged out of a period within every season where you get behind, you have the character, you have the wherewithal, you have the mental toughness to stay in the fight. Eventually you get over your opponents. They've had 3 defeats, and those 3 games were close defeats. They need to be on the other side of those close games.
That was a good kick from Mitchell Pearce, and well watched by Jack Wellesby. Of course, these two fought out a thrilling Old Trafford Grand Final in 2021, Saints winning by the finest of margins, 12-10, with those 2 tries from Kevin Nagama.
Mitch, come on. 3.
It's a good carry.
Wigfield.
Yeah, good carry from Wigfield. Needed to be brave on that challenge. I went back and watched that Grand Final today, just out of curiosity. There was a cigarette paper between those 2 teams, wasn't there? In quality, in personnel, and in mentality. I wonder whether it's the same this evening.
Move! Get square! 5.
That's been superb so far. Lomax with the kick, an easy take for Tom Davis. 8 minutes to go to half-time. Catalan haven't lost 4 on the spin for nearly 4 years, Barry.
I said it right at the start, the home form is always important. They need to make people fear coming to the Stade Gilbert Brutus. St Helens offside at the play of the ball. And the referee explaining to the defenders, you've got to get back with me, but that comes from the work done from the backfield. That back 5 of Artyom Morg, Davis, Ikavalu, Kieran, Johnson, with the fatigue in the middle. They need to get in and do some work. There's Johnson carrying the ball forward, leaving defenders on the floor.
So can Catalan go back-to-back and level up this game? 7 minutes to go to half-time in Perpignan.
2. Move, George!
But certainly the influence of Pearce and Tompkins, the partnership that has been sorely missed by Catalan this season. Tompkins it is, and the ball goes to ground.
That's play on.
The referee will say it went backwards. Here is Tom Johnston. Roby eventually bringing him down.
It was a round the corner pass from the centre, just not quite accurate enough.
Yeah, Kieran is known for his offloads.
4. Move, bad now. Hold.
Garcia. Got dummy half.
5. Move, back Jack. 5.
It's the last one. Pearce with a long pass, and Ritson had to intervene. Well, I'll tell you what, if Ritson had caught that, it was game over. As far no one would have caught him. But it was a crucial intervention.
just fingertips. I tell you what, if T. Ritson catches that ball,
gone.
He goes the length of the field, and it's Barovian bedlam.
Yeah.
Ball goes into touch.
Well, in the end, it was important. He got a touch to it.
5 minutes, mate. Okay, go.
Here come the Dragons again.
One.
Man-on-man.
Hit the line. Hold.
Close to that line. Tries to play it quickly for Garcia and Pearce. Artem Morg. Here's Whitley. Lomax and Hurrell with the tackle.
There's a penalty there, Stuart. There's a player taken out, and it looks like backchat and sin bin is the consequence of a lack of discipline. How many times in 2023 have we talked about a lack of discipline in the St Helens ranks? Conrad Hurrell.
Well, you can hear Liam Moore there. He was clear as bell. You just swore at me. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
And that's just poor discipline or ill discipline for Conrad Hurrell.
We'll have a look at it. It's the slightest of touches that ends up Johnny Lomax collides. I'm not sure who he collides with. Is it Adam Kieran?
It was Kieran who was down, and it's Saints who are down to 12 men. But you can't swear at the referee, as I'm sure you found out on many occasions, Barry.
I was too tired to talk to anybody.
Oh, there's a short pass out, and it's going to be a try on debut for Matt Ikevalu, and Catalan hit back. The indiscipline for St Helens, a quick ball from left to right, and Matt Ikevalu on his Catalan debut gets their second try from being 12-0 down. The Dragons are right back in this Super League thriller.
Well, a delighted centre goes over, but all the hard work is done with the amount of options, runners and genuine ball threats that the Dragons have here. It looks like they have 3, 4, 5 men overload. Attackers to defenders, but it's just pass selection, good line running, and the determination on the centre to get over on debut.
Yeah, Hopoate couldn't hold his opposite number.
Some poor efforts defensively from St Helens, but that's to take nothing away from the quality, the lines and the determination.
Well, Ikevalu, former Roosters and Cronulla centre, he's on a deal to the end of the season with an option for next year as well. Steve McNamara was saying they were very close to signing him last year, but he suffered a bad knee injury, so the deal went away. And fit again, he was very, very quick that he wanted to resurrect the deal, and he's looked pretty good in this first half on debut.
I think you said it, it's the strongest lineup we've seen from Catalan Dragons, and I absolutely get what you said in those first 10 minutes, that they weren't slick enough, the skill wasn't up to the correct standard, but it looks like they could be going in all square at half-time, and they're on the front foot the minute, the Dragons. And Saints have a player in the sin bin.
Yep, Conrad Hurrell until 5 minutes into the second half. Here is Adam Kieran. And it's 12-all as we approach half-time, and Saints will rue a missed opportunity when they may well have scored at 12-0 up. They will also rue the ill-discipline which has seen them reduced to 12 men, but take nothing away from Ikevalu.
As we watch that replay, a poor effort in defence from Will Hopoate. Doesn't get his body in front of his opposite number, but I think that comes down to how many threats the Dragons have, how many players running to expect and actually want the ball. We have a phrase in the game at the minute, effort areas, and I think it's one that people chuck in and it covers everything. It's doing your job, doing it well, but actually looking for work. Don't look away from your job, don't look away from something that maybe not under your remit, but you can do it to help your opponent, you can do it to help your teammate.
Fabulous first half.
What a game. What a game.
Garcia from dummy half.
I don't want the first half to finish.
Takayaho. Let's bring you up to date with what else is happening in Super League. Hockey are in control against Huddersfield. Salford have hit the front at Headingley. Well, in fact, they scored again. 10-0 now, Salford lead at Headingley. Lee level with Castleford, and look at that, Wakefield, 2 tries. Bottom have got back to 12 apiece at Warrington. Big hit on Wellesby.
He's hurting there as well. Well, I'm going to wait till I watch the replay of this. Jack Wellesby isn't a player that stays down. It looked, when we watched it on first time, a great tackle. Oh, come on. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I concur. I think he might be getting, or Liam Moore might be just waiting to see if the video referee Tom Grant is having a look at this, but it looked, didn't it, on first viewing, it looked okay.
There's absolutely nothing. There's a bit of communication going between Kieran and Tompkins. Wellesby, under the force of that challenge, didn't get up straight away, but I think it was legal. Sometimes I let my...
Yeah, but I have to say, sometimes Barry McDermott's legal is different from other people's legal.
I agree. Let's see whether Liam Moore...
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well, it's a sin bin for Takayaho.
Secondary contact with the head, so he's not hit the head when he's made the initial challenge. Somewhere around there, shoulder makes contact with head. Listen, I understand that we want to protect players. We don't want to see players laid out unconscious on the floor.
A fair play to Wellesby as well, he was straight up.
He's a competitor.
So both sides are down to 12 men. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook. Just looking back, you know, Warrington 12, Wakefield 12. Wakefield won twice at Warrington last season, you may remember. And it's 12-all in the south of France. And it has been a fabulous watch. Saints 12-0 up. The Dragons hitting back. We've had the thrills and spills and great tries and drama. We've had indiscipline, we've had mistakes. It all adds up to great entertainment. Oh, Wellesby, and it was dropped there by Lomax. Chases on for Pearce. Wellesby will race back and pick the ball down, and Saints nearly undoing it for themselves right on the stroke of half-time. And that is half-time. And what a first half it's been. It was Lomax who made the error. Pearce kicking the ball forward, but Wellesby was quickest to react. And at half-time, it is all square. Saints ahead 12-0 inside 21 minutes. Tries from Alex Walmsley and from Jack Wellesby, but Mitchell Pearce has been outstanding on his return. Artem Morg with a 50-yard solo try to get Catalans back into the game. And then on debut, Matt Ikebalu with the try. And at half-time, it's 12-all. Hit on Jack Wellesby in the tackle. And he's been influential, hasn't he? Big night for Garcia. 200 appearances in a Catalan jersey for the captain.
Well, this game started, or before this game started, you know, there was the biggest bull I have ever seen running rampant on the field with all the players jumping over the sideline. Anybody want to check the social media outlets? It's on there. Well, it was chaos from then on. The biggest bull on the field was Alex Walmsley, and his influence and fingerprints and hoof prints were all over the first 40.
Please check the social media. Sky Sports Rugby League, hilarious. parade of prize bulls, and one of them got away.
I'll tell you what,
everyone was running.
Nobody was stopping them.
Manchester gets us underway then. 40 minutes between Catalan and ending their 3-match losing run, or St Helens winning in Super League in the south of France for the first time since 2018.
Well, Romain Navarrete again goes for James Roby. One of the real standout charges from Romain Navarrete left James Roby flying back through the air. Well, he did the same from the kickoff.
Always a great atmosphere in the south of France with a huge crowd, nearly 11,000. Garcia, they're trying to play it quickly. Tompkins on that left-hand side. Whitley does well, and again, they were targeting Roby. You don't see James Roby miss too many tackles for sure. Pearce gets the kick away. Dropped under pressure by Wellesby and then dropped by Garcia, but I think it'll be the first knock on, and the Catalan Dragons will get the ball back. It was bouncing awkwardly for Garcia.
There's an escort in back play, but the fullback really mistimes. There's the bump and carry on from Matt Whitley, leaves James Roby on the floor, and I think you're right, I think they're targeting him.
Yeah, I think there's a penalty. A penalty, I think Liam Moore was saying there.
There's an escort.
Yeah, Sam Royal.
There's an escort. Whilst Catalan were attempting to challenge Jack Wellesby, who got it all wrong, his timing was all wrong, and Catalan Dragons, well, here, choosing to go for two. I think that's testament to how close that first half was, and the recognition of both teams that this may well come down to 1 or 2 points at the back end. But I think it's a smart move. I think it's an intelligent decision to go for the two. He's been a good buy, hasn't he? His versatility, his reliability, and of course when you can turn 4 into 2 when a try scored, and when you can capitalise on any little indiscretion when the opportunity presents itself, they're invaluable.
Well, this to go ahead for the first time in the match. They run the first 5 games, the Dragons. 3 defeats on the spin has just left them a little bit exposed as they chase first and second spot, which was the aim of the Dragons before a ball was kicked back in February. They want a top 2 spot. Kieran, the Australian, to give the Dragons the lead. And he does just that. So early stages of the second half. It was Sam Royal that Liam Moore picked out.
I think Catalan would have ended up with possession anyway. The fullback fumbled it, the Dragons couldn't retain possession, so they would have ended up with it, but they get a penalty, an escort, which means while the ball's up in the air, a St Helens defender gets in the way of a Catalan Dragons player. Oh wow, never let the ball bounce.
Oh, they did let it bounce, and it was fumbled by Romain Navarrete, and what an opportunity out of absolutely nothing for St Helens. They move it quickly. Lomax will try and switch the play. I think Navarrete was just taken by completely by surprise. The ball was coming towards him.
It's that loud, that end of the field to our left, packed with Saints fans.
Oh, that was well taken in the end. Long pass out, chance back inside for Makinson, and well, Saints took the gamble. They took the gamble, and it didn't pay off.
Manu Mao down for the Catalan Dragons, a real let-off for the home team, who allowed the kick-off to bounce, and St Helens unable to capitalise, unable to do anything. It was a long ball, and then a risky offload from the winger, Tommy Makinson.
Well, he had no choice, he was being pushed into touch. You said right at the start of the half that the team that keeps their cool with the team that wins this game. I think also there needs to be a certain element of patience.
Yeah, that's with and without the ball. When I talk about discipline, it's with and without the ball. Don't try and win the game 4 minutes into the first half.
Tompkins gets the kick away.
He's just over the 40-metre line, I think, Sam Tompkins there. So if it would have gone over, it wouldn't have been a 40-20 to St Helens. Just look at those St Helens players getting back behind the ball. It's been an absorbing, energy-draining first 40.
Nowhere for them to go. They're very quick off the mark there, the Dragons. Conrad Hurrell back on the field after spending 10 minutes in the sin bin for descent. Here he is, straight back into the action.
5. Moves! Back now. 5.
Important early stages in this second half.
Give him 10.
Well, that's a wicked kick.
Dodd got the kick away and picked up by the dangerous Tom Johnston. Will have to go down surely, otherwise it would have been a penalty, wouldn't it?
He's got a blue wall in front of him, 3 defenders not giving him anywhere to go. And Saints, when they received the kick, I noticed a couple of walkers, a couple of players just trying to recharge those batteries, because what they want to do is make sure they've got plenty in the bank, plenty in the tank for this part of the game, defending the threats that Catalan throw at them.
Terrific upper body strength there by Artem Morgan. I think Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook penalised for a high shot on Romain Navarrete.
He's a player that gets under other players' skin, Romain Navarrete. He again is running at Roby, so what does LMS do? He works hard from the inside and thinks, you're not getting at my captain. But because the force, the angle, and perhaps the timing and technique means that he ends up giving a penalty away.
Hold.
And here is Navarrete, in his second spell with the Catalan Dragons. And who was he running at? Yeah, but Roby came up with the tackle on this occasion. McMeekan with the offload. Garcia and Tompkins, and now Pearce. Inside it goes.
3. Move, Louis! Back now, James. Hold.
Garcia wanting to play the ball quickly. Zikavalu with the run. Long pass out there. Johnston, can he find a way? And Ritson was superb defending there from T. Ritson. It was Tom Johnston who was looking for a 12th try of the season.
This is brilliant, isn't it? When you think the start that T. Ritson has to make up, Tom Johnston, 6'3", 6'4", has 3 or 4 metres of space. And then T. Ritson gets on his bike, gets over there, pushes him over the sideline. Said it before, St Helens will leave a player on the outside because they back their ability to work from inside out and shut those players down. It's dangerous, more dangerous the closer to the line you are, but they back their own ability. Look at this, energy, 4 of them, and intent from the Dragons.
Here is Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. Super League appearance number 414. Overtakes the great Keith Senior in the 10th all-time Super League appearance holder, LMS. What a servant he's been. And Lomax with the pass. Did that come off a Catalan hand? Lomax saying that it did. Well,
they're big indicators, them, Stu. When your player is getting down on the ball first, it means you're on.
Well, Lomax was convinced it came off a Catalan hand. Not a bit of it, says the referee. And the Saints have been a little bit all over the shop in this second half. Morg, some penalties given away, some handling errors, a chance has gone.
There are long looping passes where Catalan are trying to find space. Just like to see them straighten up a little bit.
I agree with you, Barry, you're spot on. Cool, calm and patience will win this game.
Release, goal 4.
Here is Pearce. Artem Morg. Chance for Davis in the corner, and it was quick hands. and it looks like a try for Tom Davies, and I think the video ref is going to have a look. Liam Moore gives the try on the field, but it came from the St Helens error. And Tom Davies diving in at the corner. Tom Grant is the video referee, but it should be a simple decision.
Well, it's gone up as a try. You can see the touch judge in perfect position. It's gorgeous skill, isn't it, from Ikavalu, who catches and passes, releases the winger. Tom Davies has done that 1,000 times during the games, under the bright lights, and on the training pitch as well. He doesn't get those wrong. It's a try.
Well, you just saw there in the foreground, James Roby is having a rest 10 minutes into the second half. But the Catalan Dragons, who trailed 12-0 after 21 minutes, now lead 18-12.
That's a beautiful pass, isn't it, from the fullback RD11, who can play with the ball. He's an elusive, nimble runner, but his ability to find a pass, thread the needle, gave ever such a small window of opportunity for the centre to catch and pass it. And Paul Helens and Laurent Frézinou that know they're in a game here now. And just going back to that substitution, it's not unusual for James Roby to just take a break, but I think the coach recognises he's getting some stick out there. The players are running at him, they're identifying him, they're pointing at him. Romain Navarrete on the right of the screen, well, he's not stopped running at him all evening.
I'll tell you what as well, Barry, the guy taking the kick has been a shrewd, smart signing, Adam Kieran, for the Catalan Dragons. On the fringes he was, but Steve McNamara have trusted the players that he was involved with when he was assistant coach with the Roosters in the NRL. Kieran is one of them. This from the touchline to make it a 2-score game. It looks a beauty.
Oh, he's got it, you know.
It is a beauty. And Catalan have scored 8 unanswered points now in the second half, and they lead by 20 points to 12.
Well, they look like they're trying to think their way through this second half rather than fight their way through it. Beautiful skill sets up the try, but if you cast your mind back, the decision by Catalan Dragons and Adam Kieran to take the two, then when they had the opportunity, scored the try. The difference is now 8 points, so in the back of the mind of the St Helens players, they've got some work to do here.
Absolutely.
Plenty of time to go, but some work to do.
Joey Lussick on to replace James Roby, of course. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Sakayaho back on the field after his sin binning. So both teams back up to the full complement of 13. 52 minutes, but here's one for you. The Saints need to score next.
I think this game is in the hands of the Catalan Dragons, so yeah, points would be good. A foothold in the game would be better. For me, they're running through the middle, they're running through the edge, and they're in scramble mode at the minute. So of course they need to score next, but there can't be any panic if Catalan score. They've been in, as a group of individuals and collectively as a team, they've been in these situations many, many times.
Oh, touch of luck there. Sakayaho getting the ball out, came off St Helens' hand, and it's a full set now for the Dragons inside the Saints' half of the field. Tompkins and Artem Morg involved. Here is Ikavalu, really impressive.
He's been really good at it. Both centres, Ikavalu and Kieran. Is there another?
Well, he's saying here, I think, that Artem Morg was a late tackle.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of a collision there from Lewis Dodd after the ball is passed. Listen, you just can't touch them. It's no good waving your arms about. You can't touch them. It doesn't matter whether you tap them on the shoulder or you give him a bit of what Takiaho gave them. But Ikavalu couldn't be more impressed with him and his contribution. He's run all over the top of his opposite, Will Hopoate. And the Catalan Dragons are choosing to kick the ball in touch, take advantage of the field position and possession of the ball.
For Steve McNamara, all going to plan so far. It's been... Well, Catalans started this second half just the way they started the first. The difference is that they put points on the board.
I think that the fire that was going off in everybody's head with 5 minutes of that second half left has gone out in the Dragons players now.
Knock on. It was Manu Mao who just couldn't hold on to the ball. Picked up by young George Delaney. Saints need some field position. It's a wild pass from Wellesby, and Ritson under pressure does really well just to hang on. And
they're being tested here, the champions, aren't they? They're more than capable of making the points up on the scoreboard. But the belief is growing within the ranks of the Catalan players.
Batchelor. Lussick at dummy half.
Move now, get back.
15 minutes gone in the second half.
40.
Well, Lussick with the kick downfield. It was a myth kick there by Joey Lussick. And it's picked up by Morg.
They needed a better kick, didn't they? Scuffed that kick. Joey Lussick, as you can see, Catalan play the ball. That's the halfway line that they're looking at now. And before the game, you look at the benches, you look at the... Normally I'll go 1 to 13 and choose a player from either side, and whoever ends up with the most numbers, that's usually the team that wins. But the strength on the bench of the Catalan side, they're all internationals. They're all well-established players. Probably where they've had the edge, because when Saints have introduced players from the bench, just hasn't quite had the same effect. They haven't been able to maintain the tempo.
McMeekan plays the ball. Takayaho brought down by Delaney and McCarthy Scarsbrook. They go to the left with Garcia. Tompkins now, quick hands there, and Ritson picks it up. He was hoping for a break, but it was well read by Tom Johnston. Just to bring you up to date with the rest of Super League, Hull KR have extended their lead, 20-0 against Huddersfield. The other scores as they were at half-time. Salford 12-6 up at Headingley. Lee and Cass locked at 6 apiece. And Warrington and Wakefield level at 12 apiece. Here, 17 minutes gone in the second half. Catalan leading St Helens by 20 points to 12.
This game tight as a drum, isn't it? St Helens desperately trying to find something in this game. And that's not the answer, is it? No. A wild pass to the player on the outside. He's going to get a chance, T. Ritson, at some point during the game to show us all the speed that he's been blessed with from birth. It's just not quite there for him yet. He hasn't established himself within the side. The more he plays in a Saints shirt, the more he'll find his place within the group. Well, that was just a bad pass. And they've either been too low or too high for him, haven't they? All feeds into that, to the hands of the Catalan players, and feeds into the heads of the Saints players.
Approaching the hour mark. Just feel at the moment that Saints are just trying to force the issue. Still plenty of time.
And when we talk about those cooler heads, it's the established, experienced players like Johnny Lomax who'll be giving the hand signals, calm it down. They'll be telling everybody around them, don't you worry, we've got this. If they continue to make mistakes, that is almost overridden with that panic and anxiety.
I've played again, says the referee. Saints lost 12-point leads when losing to Lee away, and of course that game with Leeds at home. They had 12-point leads in both those games. Is this going to be a third occasion? They led 12-0 after a quarter of this match. Here is Artem Morg, slips.
I thought there was another penalty in backfield there. Listen, I think Saints are going through that that phase. Everybody talks about the way that Saints play. They play the Saints way. It's fast, it's expansive, it's exciting. Under Christian Wolf, they had a hard steel edge in that defence to complement it, and the Paul Wellens way is just not quite there yet.
Tompkins, the line is open. The line is open for Tom Davies. Now the video ref is going to have a look here. I think he's going to check the onside, offside. But it looks like it's a try on the field. The simplest of kicks from Tompkins. And Davies was in oceans of space.
A pretty established route that they take. Tompkins, that angle at that width isn't going to tell us the story, I don't think. Tom Davies is quick, but is he that quick?
Yeah.
I don't think this will tell us much more either.
He's allowed to succumb to the tackle.
We're unable to hear the communication between the referee and touch judge. The touch judge, for me, is in the best place out of everybody.
Johnny Lomax there is complaining to the referee, Liam Moore, but there was no definitive angle, was there? So the video referee had to go with the on-field referee. And it's another try for Catalan, and it's another try, it's a crucial try. Is it a match-winning try for Tom Davies?
He's having far better influence, Sam Tompkins, playing in the role that he's in this evening. He was there last week, or last game, should I say, when they played the Salford side. He's got all the skills, he's got all the ability, Sam Tompkins, and he's got a cool head. He delivers that on a plate for Tom Davies. He has the skill to collect, catch, and score the try. 12 points difference now, could be 14. It is a commanding lead. Is it enough to win the game? I'm not so sure. Saints can score those tries, they can rack them up, and they can score back-to-back. And when they start to generate the momentum, we'll see what the character of the Catalan Dragons side is. He's been exceptional with ball in hand, defensively, and off the kicking tee as well. Oh, he's just missed it. But listen, I was watching the body language of the Saints players. Who's talking, who's listening, not watching the kicker. Perhaps the things that need to be said have been said. So it's not a case of give me more information and give me a solution to the problem. Just listen to what you're being told.
The Saints have got 20 minutes to find something from somewhere, but they've hardly had the ball in this second half.
I'm going to say it again, Stu, there's more than enough time for Saints to get themselves back into this game. We watched a really tight game last night, Hull FC against Wigan, and you always felt, didn't you, that Wigan were going to come back, but the home side had that much grit and determination, they didn't allow them.
Move! Back up, hold. Oh,
18 and a half minutes.
4. Move!
Saints need to get their hands on the ball.
5. Move now! Hold, hold. Oh, 5. 40. You do 10 balls.
Here's with the kick downfield.
Play on.
Wellesby finds Ritson, but nowhere really for T. Ritson to go, is there?
Stand down!
Well, you just never know. Thoughts go back to the magic weekend in Newcastle in 2021, one of the great games of the Super League era, wasn't it? Saints leading 30 points to 12, 5 minutes to go, 3 converted tries, the Dragons levelled, and then James Maloney won it with a drop goal, so you never know.
Yeah, penalty there. Penalty there for an ugly looking tackle from Mike McMeekin, who's had a great game. My abiding memory of that game is Big Sam Cassiano collecting a high kick. You can see it's a low tackle, an initial low tackle from Pearce. And then as he gets up off the floor, it looks like he's okay, thankfully.
Our Saints going to provide a thrilling finale, 24 points to 12. Warrington edged ahead against Wakefield 14-12. Lee in front for the first time against Castleford 12-6. Salford have extended their lead to 14-6 at Headingley. And Hull KR in total control against Huddersfield. Kevin Proctor has been sent off for the bottom club Wakefield. They're down to 12, and Walmsley is back on for Saints. They need to see the best of Alex Walmsley. Bell brought down, Lussick at dummy half. Ball comes to this left-hand side with Welsby. Short pass for Hopoate, but will Hopoate going nowhere? Pearson now to make the initial tackle. Manu Mao as well, making some of the little tip over the top, and Morg there making some claim that he was obstructed by Pearce, but it was picked up by Morg, and Catalan repels Saints advances. Walmsley charging in.
Oh, I bet he saw his life flash in front of his eyes, Tom Davis, then, as Big Al came out of the line. Beautiful work from the fullback, Artie Morg, on the back line. But both teams, both sets of players, nobody giving up on this game yet. That's the belief that Saints have. I keep saying, don't count out. I need to use the right phrase, don't I? Never write off the Saints, because they have an innate belief and an innate ability to get themselves out of pickles like this.
Manamau with the drive on the last. Mitchell Pearce, who's been an influence on his return to the side, been struggling for most of the year with a calf injury, the veteran Aussie. Will Ritson get the daylight, the chance that Barry's been talking about? Hopoate. The clock is ticking, 15 minutes to go, 24 points to 12. Saints haven't won in the Super League in the south of France since 2018. They did, of course, win in Perpignan in the Challenge Cup in the quarter-final last year. Offload.
Cheeky offload.
Lussick. Delaney knocks on.
And that's what happens, isn't it?
Forcing the play.
It's a cheeky offload, and then when the tackle is made on Joey Lussick, his ambition doesn't match the ability to make that ball available. There's two big men on Conrad Hurrell, the 8 and 10, but he's tackled there, he's facing the wrong way. Yeah, and it's hard, isn't it, with the sands of time just falling down the hourglass, to think to yourself, should I bank the advantage, or should I try and gain a little bit more?
Let's give them, boys, don't go early, please. Heads down. Head down, Ben.
It isn't a place.
Brains trusted Wellens and Fresanu.
It isn't a place to be in the losing box, is it? Because the passion and the noise, the chants, the atmosphere that the crowd gets means it's a very lonely place. There's a penalty there.
We've had a penalty.
It's either a penalty or a knock-on. He's given a knock-on.
Yeah, given a knock-on against Adam Kieran. So Saints, as the clock continues to tick down and Sam Tompkins continues to have a word.
I think he's got a case as well. It's a play the ball with a Saints player in the ruck. As you can see, he skips to the outside of Conrad Hurrell.
Ball carrier responsibility to find space.
And he's left on the floor, and the ball carrier has to find space, but Conrad Hurrell's in the way.
Well, the charge on the scrum. Saints repelling the charge on the scrum. Lomax plays it quickly.
You asked me a while ago, do they need to score next, Saints? I think they need to score in the next minute or two. Johnny Lomax over on this left side is absolutely fuming because a mistake at the play of the ball, and it's exactly the same penalty, sorry, it's exactly the same infringement which ends up in a mistake as Catalans were guilty of a moment or two ago. Arms going up there asking for an illegal penalty, and whilst playing the ball, St Helens through Matty Lees dropped the pill, and the referee just says it's a scrum down. Head and feed to Catalan Dragons.
What he was saying, it was the ball carrier's responsibility.
And he said exactly the same thing when Conrad Hurrell was in the way. At the back end of games, bodies get left in the play of the ball.
12 minutes. The Super League champions in a spot of bother in the south of France.
2. Move, James. Hold.
Desiree back on.
3. Move, Joe.
Former Avignon player in the French Championship, making the step up successfully to Super League. Garcia does well to hold on to that. Wasn't expecting the offload from Mikavalu, but he got it, and he managed to hang on. A little over 10 minutes on the clock. 12 points, the advantage for the Catalan Dragons.
Big shots.
Crunching tackle on Pierce from Lomax. It was Bousquet at dummy half, and Tompkins with the kick. Taken by Wellesby. Long pass out, picked up by Makinson. Hasn't got too much space to work with, Tommy Makinson. Ikavalu's had a fantastic debut, hasn't he? Still, Hull KR 20 points to 0 up. Salford dominating Leeds at Headingley, 20 points to 6. Lee in control now against Cass, 18 points to 6. And Wakefield, who were level at 12 apiece, saw Kevin Proctor sent off. And Warrington, as it stands, are on the way back to the Super League summit.
Some big results, isn't it? But I tell you what, this game isn't done. 10 minutes left. Big Alex Walmsley needs to get his side on the front foot, either through offloads or breaking tackles.
Well, here is a chance for Ritson. Has Ritson got the speed? Little kick through. Wellesby chasing for St Helens. The ball bouncing around. And fortune doesn't favour the brave. Catalan scrambling back, diving on the loose ball. And it was Paul Seguier to the rescue for the home side. That was the opportunity you feel that Saints had to take.
I agree. I'm not saying that that is the game, but opportunities like that, when the ball bounces away from you, just in the back of your mind, you think to yourself, this is not our day. And Catalan Dragons, when a ball's been bouncing on the floor, when it's been loose, when it's been scrappy, they've got down, they've put their head where boots are flying. And this is a result for commitment as much as anything else.
The Saints fans, as you can probably hear, trying to lift their side. It's been a final effort in the last 9 or 10 minutes. Just to remind you as well, by the way, all the tries from all the other games in Super League tonight will be on the Sky Sports app later on tonight. 24-12, Catalan in front against St Helens. Ritson looking for an opportunity, brought down by Kieran. Tell you what, the two centres for Catalan, Kieran and Ikavalu, have been good.
It's been a very difficult position. It's going to be a very difficult decision to pick player of the match this evening, but certainly those two centres are in the running.
Well, that's your job. It'll be your choice as Lomax tries to jink his way through. Quick play the ball. Here's Lussick. The ball gone to ground. I think it has. And you have to say the second half has been littered with far too many St Helens handling errors.
And it's just Desiree's commitment to the tackle. All right, he touches the ball, he dislodges the ball. but he's just doing his job, and Lewis Dodd can't keep hold of it. And little efforts like that. Sometimes you can win a game on effort. Sometimes it's about taking your opportunity. And this is a combination of everything that makes rugby league special, and those Catalan Dragons fans have had their money's worth. They've enjoyed watching their team play. I don't think there's a way back for Saints. I might have to eat my words, but I don't think there's a way back for Saints. Not if they keep dropping the ball as they keep doing.
Move, Lewis! Hold!
Well, Catalan have controlled the game, haven't they, in the second half?
Oof, big tackle again, but you've got to complete it.
Johnston it was, and that was high by Hopewati. No intent.
It's loose now, isn't it, from St Helens? Desperation to get off the line to put pressure on the winger. He just rides the tackle, works his way out of it, and then you can see Hopewati with both feet off the floor. No malice or intent in it, but
mistimed grab.
Mistimed, poor technique. With fatigue, the referee looks at it and he's happy with just a penalty.
I think many people would describe your tackling technique as poor.
Thank you. I think what St Helens could have done with, they could have done with that bull that was running amok at the start of the field. Alex Walmsley at the beginning of the game was gathering momentum, gaining momentum, breaking tackles and controlling the speed of the play of the ball, but that's been about it.
Quick hands again. Here is Kieran looking for a way through. Does well, Adam Kieran. A little over 5 minutes to go. Arthur Morg nearly through, nearly scrambled his way through. Important tackle it was from Lussick. But the Dragons looking to finish it now. Saints need to score twice. The clock is ticking. Time is against them. Bousquet charges towards that line. Last one. Garcia goes on his own. He's held up, but they won't be too bothered about that, Catalan. Saints will get the ball a yard away from their own try line. Need to score twice in the last 5 minutes.
Well, the game began, didn't it, in the first couple of minutes with Benjamin Garcia attempting to score a try on his own with 3 defenders in front of him. Everybody rolls their eyes, everybody throws their arms up, but they don't on that occasion because they know that there's plenty of this. Saints trying to get the metres forward, trying to get desperately away from their own try line without success. Even Alex Walmsley can't do it.
24 unanswered points for the Catalan Dragons after they trailed 12-0. Saints had an opportunity, didn't they, to possibly get another try, but it was a loose pass out, and that's another loose pass, and that's another error. And Saints have been, certainly in this second half, to a certain extent, architected their own downfall.
Well, they went into this game, they've lost 4 from the last 5. They've lost the last 3 on the bounce. It looks like they're going to lose this evening. They're still finding their identity, I think. I think the pressure from Catalan Dragons defensively has forced errors, but there's been a number of them unforced errors, and when coaches and players look at acceptables and negotiables and non-negotiables, making mistakes with nobody around you, with no pressure on you, they're the things that hurt you.
It will be a 4th defeat of the season for the Super League champions. Pearce now, who will possibly get the opportunity to put the icing on that Catalan cake.
Releasing there, 1. Hit the line.
McMeekan always loves the rough and tumble, always difficult to bring down. Pearce again. That's a good tackle from Makinson on Ikavalu. The debutant drops the ball. First mistake from Matt Ikavalu tonight, but I think he's shown enough, or more than enough, to the rest of Super League that he is going to be an influence on this Catalan side for the rest of the year.
I think he's been exceptional on his debut. Both centres, as we talked about, Kieran and Ikavalu, have been a constant threat, and defensively they've stood up. But 1-17, it has been an outstanding team performance where they have fought and scrapped for every single metre. Here we go.
Ritson. Still couldn't get away. Whitley it was with the tackle, and the old man Tompkins was in there again and still flinging himself around.
Release him now!
A little over 2 minutes to go.
Pull down on the ball.
Yeah.
Pull down on the ball.
Penalty given away by Desiree.
Well, no messing about from St Helens. They know time is ticking. Just tap and go.
Hold the 10, hold. Go on, discipline here, Ben.
That came off Davis.
Again, first to the bouncing ball. Yeah. It's a real indicator about the attitude of your players. Tom Davis makes that tackle, he touches that ball, he knows full well it's a knock-on. But watch his reaction. I'm securing possession.
Well, as we come up to the last minute, I've got to ask you, what does this tell you about Catalan? What does this tell you about the Super League champs?
Super League champions Saints have still got a lot to work on. I have no doubt in my mind they'll make the playoffs. I've no doubt in my mind there will be a genuine threat in the playoffs. And any Super League campaign, teams that win the grand final, it's about timing. It's about getting it right at the right time. They're just not there yet. But nobody can count out the Dragons, because the Dragons at home, playing like this, playing for each other, have the ability to beat anybody.
Hopewati does well, Will Hopewati. But time is very much against the four-time Super League champions. Walmsley looking for another try underneath the post, but he loses possession.
And that's it, Stuart.
That sums up Saints night.
It's been a huge week for rugby league in France. I used the word flop. It was a flop. The men's and the women's sides both went down. Heavy defeats, no points scored, 64 points conceded. And that's hurt the country of France. That's hurt rugby league and the people that are passionate about it. The fans have got on the terraces and supported their side, and the players, whether they qualify for France or not, have taken it personally, and they've got one back.
Well, they took control in the second half, and they scored important points in the first 8 to 9 minutes of the second half. 12 apiece at half-time it was. But Saints have hardly seen the ball, certainly to mount any pressure. The countdown is on.
Stand down, free.
The smile is large on the face of Sam Tompkins. And the Catalan Dragons have beaten St Helens yet again in Super League in the south of France. It was a pulsating game which had absolutely everything. But after losing 3 on the spin and 4 out of the last 5, the Dragons are back in the winner's circle.
You can see what it means to these Catalan players. They know they've been tested, and they know that although it's only one win, it is a crucial, vital, important win, especially in front of the home fans. Well, St Helens travelled in numbers. They come away with a defeat, but plenty to work on.
Yeah, 12 apiece it was at half-time. But crucially, Catalan, with a try early in the second half from Tom Davis, he got another just after the hour mark. Saints were complaining that Davis was offside, but the try was given. And it's another defeat for St Helens. But it's a big, big win, isn't it, for the Catalan Dragons? third successive away defeat this for the Saints at Wigan, at Hull KR and at Catalans.